Hello everyone and welcome back to Two Bros Game Night. I am your host, Older Bro.
I'm your other host, Younger Bro.
And today we surprisingly continue in Doki Doki Blue Skies, where we had to record an extra episode this week.
Because of Older Bro's new game. Like, literally, he was one episode away from recording his next series, so he's like, I'm not starting a game to interrupt it for one episode. That's fucking stupid. Yeah.
The interruption just isn't an interruption now. Fuck this shit.
Okay, so I guess we'll go with Sayori next. My old friend.
My old friend! There's a dark and hollow thing that follows close. And to me clings. Okay, right, it's poetry. It doesn't have to logically scan.
Yeah.
Okay, and sentence-wise scan. That follows me
I think
follows
this should
close
be a
and to me
comma or
clings.
something.
No. It sticks to me and turns in turn when I spin around and discern in the dark and the deep the faintest shape that it keeps. It goes away when sunlight shines. The sun shines sweet and warm and kind, but does it really? Is it gone? Or does it secretly keep on? Is it really hiding there, staring from beneath the chair, glaring from atop the stairs, nowhere but yet everywhere? In the corner, in the gap, I stare and it looks back. Weighing down, draining out.
That was very interesting, Sayori. I always enjoy seeing a poet step out of their comfort zone a little bit, especially when it comes to writing horror.
Actually, I'm pretty sure this is exactly the same as my normal poetry. I didn't change anything. Oh, what do you mean?
You typically don't write darker poems, correct? Unless I've misinterpreted.
No, you're right, Yuri. This is a real change of pace, and it was fun. Well, I'm glad my suggestion has gone down well, then. I figured it would be fitting for the occasion.
Don't give her too much praise or else she'll start thinking she's the next Stephen King. Hey,
I can be Stephen King if I want to, bitch! Don't make me whip you!
Good.
I have it on my side! Hey! I'd be a great horror writer!
Oh no, shit's already begun. Stephen King too.
Actually, no, wait, I wouldn't. I'm not big on, like, actually scary stuff.
Makes sense. What's this poem about anyway?
Depression! It's about whatever you think it's about.
Are you saying... Are you trying to sound like Yuri?
No, silly! I didn't write it with a specific thing in mind. It can be about whatever you fear the most. Hiding away, always there, never leaving.
Like this rain cloud.
Even when you think it's all sunshine and rainbows. It never truly goes away. So it can be whatever you think it is. A terrible secret, a scary monster, a childhood fear in the dark, depression. It can be made up. It can be real. It doesn't just scare you. Maybe whatever it is drains you as well. Bit by bit. And what makes it scary is knowing it's always there.
50 bits. Holy crap. It's safe to say that no one expected that from her.
That's a surprise! I keep trying to tell everyone that I'm depressed and no one seems to get it.
The temporary silence in the room confirms that. Natsuki frowns, evidently nonplussed by what she's... Plus?
Yeah.
Nonplussed by what she's just heard. Even the cool, calm, collected Monica looks a little taken aback.
I don't think you can call her calm and collected after the last festival.
Yuri, on the other hand, there's a golden band. Smiles contentedly, seemingly unfazed by the somber...
I think contently is correct, though, so I'm gonna have to check that out.
Explanation coming from Sayori's mouth. Wow! Okay, it's not just me who didn't see that coming, right? Laughter fills the club room. Your line.
Sorry, hold on. I'm looking up contently versus contentedly. So,
I mean it, Sayori. Your use of metaphors and use of darker thematic imagery was very refreshing to see.
Just do me a favor. Don't turn into another Yuri, okay? Natsuki.
Natsuki.
Kidding. It was great, Sayori.
Oh, you guys!
Alright, Monica.
Everyone is me now.
Oh.
Reverie. I wake up. Cold.
Black night, silent and still. I fall to my knees, splinters in my hand. Dust in the air. Cold. Where am I?
Where the fuck am I?
I reach for the light I need. Is it there?
Are you still there?
The switch is pressed. I feel the warmth on my face, and my hands, and my arms, and my... I wake up. It's dark all over. Cold. Silent and numb, I reach my hand out. I have no eyes to see, but I can feel it. I press the switch. The warmth fills me. The dark comes again. I die again. I wake up. Noise in my ears. Voices.
It sounds
Cold.
like someone's hell if they keep waking and falling asleep from a dream inside a dream.
Maybe. Cold. I reach out and feel. Nothing. Where is it? Wasn't it real? Wasn't it here? Everyone reaches, but no one can touch it. The dark comes again. We all die again. I wake up. Here again.
Monica bows a little bit after she finishes. I mull over what she's read.
She has... I love the fact that even when she is not in any way sentient, she's still writing all these poems that are very clearly about the game being... You play and you die, and 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 you just keep going in circles.
I don't really get it.
That sounded like something Yuri would have written.
They all do.
Oh, is that a bad thing?
Of course not.
What does revere mean?
Reverie.
Sorry. You sure?
Yes.
I don't think I've heard it before.
You've seen the Miku song that has reverie in it. You should know how it's spelled.
What song?
I can't think of the name off the top of my head. We'll figure it out afterwards. Go. It's an English word that means something like having a pleasant daydream. But it comes from a French word that means madness. Appropriate for Halloween, isn't it? Yeah, usually reverie is used in, like, horror themes. Where it's, like, it's supposed to be, like, dancing in the midst of, like, horror and chaos and such.
Okay. Monica's smile is looking a bit more sinister than normal somehow. How cultured. Yuri looks a little distressed at the implication of Natsuki's sarcasm and the idea that Monica's poem sounded like she might have written. Like something she might have written. Do both meanings relate to the poem? You lying?
You could say that.
What do you mean?
It reflects on how a blissful act can make the pain go away. For a little while.
Oh, damn.
That really sounds like something Yuri would write. So, to answer the question, content and contented are basically the same thing. They can be used pretty much interchangeably.
Okay. Anyway. Yuri.
So, I'm aware. Ethereal. Somber sounds of midnight malice float around a chastised chalice, riding otherworldly winds, letters torn from nails pinned. A looming figure takes my hand, leading me through with sympathy canned. Cumbersome weights ride my shoulders. Yeah, that is shoulders. With the serenity of falling boulders. Their words are muffled by lament. False reassurances fails to dent the fierce facade of fleeting fear. Time is lost, no longer here. Cobalt nerves, fractured soul with the luminescence of coal. Clacking footsteps from below. Echo, 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 echo.
I'm not playing Ben 10.
I disagree.
For a moment, the room is silent.
Oh no, I went too far, didn't I?
No, I think it's just the kind of thing we were looking for. Would you like to tell us what you were thinking of when you wrote this?
Oh, okay.
Yuri takes a deep breath.
It's a bit hard to describe, but sometimes there are nights when my mind just seems to be full of noise. Nights where I can hear...
She trails off, absent-mindedly. Did she get caught up in her own poem that much? Hey, Earth to Yuri!
Oh. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get sidetracked.
It's okay, Yuri. Don't feel like you have to rush.
Yeah, take your time.
Right. Well, as I was saying, I wanted to try and capture the feelings one might have of a bit of a dark night.
Wait, aren't all nights dark?
It's a metaphor, Yuri.
I don't understand what that means.
I think Yuri's trying to talk about when people are going through a difficult time.
That's right, Kazuma. The dead of night can be very fickle. It can be a peaceful time, as the world around us winds down. But sometimes being alone with our thoughts can be terrifying. This poem was an attempt to reclaim some of the darkness.
Well, you did a great job with that, Yuri.
Yeah, I really liked it.
You did? Thank you.
And with that, alright guys, all of your poems have been
Oh,
good
no,
so
wait,
far.
no, we're not actually gonna
hard.
read his poem that doesn't exist, right?
But just wait till you hear my poem. An evil grin stretches across my face like the Grinch as I whip out the Sayori whip of my poem.
You can't. Look, dropping your pants is not showing them a poem.
Oh, if you're this confident, I'll be looking forward to your recitation.
Haha, did you put extra effort into this one, Kazuma?
Yeah, well, not quite. What's that supposed to mean? It's not a poem that I wrote myself, it's a song. Hello!
Oh, God. Kazuma.
But I promise you that it's very appropriate for the occasion. This is a poem that has an urban legend attached to it. Supposedly, if you read it out loud, you'll be cursed so that something tragic happens to you. Oh God, maybe even death.
Oh, Cosmo, that's so scary.
I know, right? It's great. This poem is titled Tom Mio's Hell, written by a poet named
Saijo Yaso.
Shijo Yasho. And it just so happens that this is the poem that I will be reading to you all at this very moment.
Cosmo, don't do it. What if something really bad happens to you?
Yeah, right.
That was Natsuki.
Oh, yeah, right. It's called an urban legend for a reason, you know. Yeah, there's urban legends to some stuff, but there's also truth to some horror things. Like, for instance, there's a cursed doll on a wall that if you challenge her spirit, she will fucking kill you. Last person who did that died about an hour later in a car wreck. Anyway, emphasis on legend, as in something that's not real.
Still.
I'd like to see the data on all the people who've read this poem so far. And statistically speaking, it's likely that something tragic will eventually happen to you anyways.
I find that there's always some element of truth behind these stories.
Oh my God, so this is the one time
wow,
when Yuri actually is
me and Yuri agree on something.
Wow, we've accidentally exchanged girlfriends, apparently.
Of course, this truth might not reflect the literal meaning of the stories and legend. However, there's likely a message behind the legend.
Yeah, I'm not gullible enough to believe any of this stuff, though.
Again, I agree with Natsuki for once.
Alright, guys, let's settle down and softly whisper. You can all voice your own thoughts after I read it, eh?
And now we get to read
Tomio's
not your
hell.
poem.
Elder sister vomits blood, younger sister's breathing fire, while sweet little Tomio just spit up the jewels all alone does Tomio go falling into that hell, a hell of utter darkness without even flowers. Is Tomio's big sister the one who whips him?
No, it's
the
me!
purpose of the search. He just develops her eyes in a deep, musky voice. Legs dark in mind. It's Peppermint Butler reading this.
Okay.
Lashing and thrashing him, but never quite shattering. One sure path to... I'm a hellspawn and cannot read. Avicii.
Hey, I hear he's cool.
The hellspawn that's illiterate. Into the blackest of hell's
I thought
guide
that
him
hells
now.
were fiery.
I pray to the golden sheep, to the nightingale. How much did thee put in that leather pouch?
Why is this poem so long?
Prepare for his trek to the eternal hell. Spring is coming to the valley.
There's too much poem
to the
here.
spiraling chasm of the blackest hell. Chasms. I told you I'm a hellspawn and I'm illiterate.
It's not about being illiterate. You can't speak.
The deeper broad the wagon and tears well up in the eyes. Oh, sweet little Tomio, sing of, oh, nightingale, sweet, sweet nightingale. in the vast misty forest. He screams. He only misses.
There is a lot of
his little
scrapes.
sister. I'm a hellspawn with a sister complex.
Oh
It's
god.
really desperate.
Hellspawn with a sister complex is not a visual novel that we need to read.
His wailing desperation echoes throughout hell. A fox
Peony.
pony.
A peony. It's a
And a
flower.
great big pony opens its petals
It's a flower.
down past the even mountains and
7. You just missed a letter there.
7 rivers.
You are spending too much time in this voice and not enough at looking at the thing you're fucking reading.
Journey of sweet little Tomio. If in this hell they found, may they come to me, please. Those sharp spikes of punishment from Needle Mountain, not just one same empty whim. Is flesh pierced with blood-red pins. They serve as hellish signposts for sweet little Tomio.
Tomino. There's an N in her name.
Oh, sorry, I got caught up in reading. Were you guys scared? And they're all just backed away.
Yep.
Not sure if it's just me overlooking it, but
Overthinking.
overthinking it, but I feel a strange chill running down my spine after reading that.
You don't say that out loud.
Cosima! That was seriously too scary.
Heh, it's alright. I should probably downplay it, at least for Sayori's sake.
I'd have to agree with Sayori. It had a very creepy, old-fashioned feel to it. After hearing that, I wouldn't doubt that something bad looms in your future.
Monica!
Personally, I found the poem quite beautiful. Of course, it's certainly eerie, but there are a lot of symbols and metaphors I could pick out just from hearing that one reading.
Our shortcoming, we get punched in the dick earlier. Later.
Yeah, Natsuki's about to kill you.
I think I'll have to look into this poem more on my free time.
Please don't. Peh, you guys think that was scary?
You
Please
are
hold
clearly
me.
shaken.
It's pretty, man, my opinion. The poet was clearly trying to be edgy and smart.
I get the edginess.
If I may respectfully disagree, the tone and word choice of the poem matches its content. It's not written that way simply to be edgy. After all, if I understood it correctly, Tomino was banished to hell for murdering his own parents.
Jesus fucking Christ. How'd you get that out of a poem?
Well, it mentions that Tomino is on the way to Avicii, the lowest of hells in Buddhism, and killing one's parents is one way that you get sent there.
Well, whatever. I still don't like it. Well, you guys can agree to disagree.
But whether you like the poem or not, you have to agree that it and the legend attached to it are pretty interesting, right?
I mean, I guess.
Cosmo, we have to keep a good eye on you from now on, just in case the legend comes true.
Sorry, there's probably a bigger chance that something bad will happen to you first, given how clumsy you are. Oh, shouldn't have said that.
Hey!
Listen. We all share a laugh with Sayori joining in after a moment of pouting.
Oh, guys, this has been so enjoyable. It's fun to scare your friends with silly pranks, and dressing up's also a lot of fun. Although, I don't really like horror that much. It's just so scary to think what could be out there.
We just call up and say.
Oh, you
call
don't
up
worry.
Sayori.
It's not about what's out there. It's about what's in here.
Yeah, Sayori, this is Two Bros Game Night. We're gonna have you play Resident Evil 3.
No! Ah!
Stop being a chicken, Sayori.
We got... Hey, you're the one who got scared by Monica earlier.
Says the one who clinged to me before that. The girls all laugh at my expense as I let out a groan. She's never gonna let me live this one down. Touche.
Anyway, it's ghost story time, right? I don't really know many ghost stories, to be honest.
I thought we read the ghost story.
No, that was your poem. These are the ghost stories.
Oh, I skipped your line.
But I looked on the internet to find some. Most were super long, like this one about what was it? Some kind of sleep experiment?
Sayori, you're rambling.
Oh, oops. Sorry, I'm new to telling scary stories. Curious though, guys. What sights or sounds scare you?
I'll be honest with you. Silence scares me, especially after I've read a gripping horror story.
Is it just me who finds reverse music really creepy?
You think you just hate it as a music writer? I think it's more you hate it than you find it creepy.
My piano teacher showed me a few reverse pieces once. It just felt wrong to listen to. Especially when there's vocals. You start hearing things that aren't there.
Yeah, there are some weird ones. Like, I think this one band got really ridiculed because if they played their song backwards, it said something like, "You will go to hell."
Yeah, usually those, unless they intentionally, like, do parts of the song backwards to make that happen, that's usually always completely coincidental.
I don't know.
Come on, Itsuki, there has to be something out there that creeps you out.
My outfit?
Commitment?
Y'all just laugh.
We won't.
She's right, Natsuki. We've all shared. What is it?
Natsuki averts her eyes, talking to the floor. The noises that children's toys make. Ooh. Especially if there's no one around to play with them. I know that. It's like when I'm home alone and I think of, like, a Jack-in-the-Box playing by myself.
By itself.
By itself. Oh, yeah. So what I was just describing. It'd creep you guys out, too. Nah, I'm with you. I've always found anything to do with children scary, especially in the dark. The sound of babies crying, for example. Normally it's annoying, but if I heard it in the dark and there was no one else around, I shiver.
Well, it's fitting you mentioned that, Kazuma. Don't you remember that argument we had on Halloween back when we were like 10?
No. Siri, where is this going?
We were both on our way to a Halloween party. It was pretty quiet out, so you could hear everything. I heard the sound of a baby crying. But it wasn't coming from inside anyone's house or anything. There weren't many people on the streets either, and it definitely wasn't one of them. It was coming from down a dark alleyway.
A chill runs down my spine as I remember exactly what incident she's talking about.
I remember I wanted to go out and investigate. I was scared I was a toddler in danger, but you didn't let me. You were too chicken to...
Hey!
Okay, we were just in a rush. But anyway, pretty creepy, right? I guess I can see what you mean about babies crying being creepy.
I guess that stained on me.
I was a bit scared myself. Looking back, I'm glad you convinced me not to go.
Guess being a wimp has its perks. Everybody laughs.
Except Monica.
Monica, however, looks like she's been slapped in the face.
Oh, guys. Do you not realize how lucky you were?
Huh?
Oh god, you guys have no idea.
She's playing you. What?
Sayori, did anything seem a bit off about that baby's cry?
Sayori scrunches up her face in an attempt to recall.
No, not really. Well, it sounded a bit repetitive, though. Like, the cries didn't change much.
Monica's voice shakes as she replies.
Guys, that's what serial killers do to lure out young women. The amount of I don't know she's playing right now is concerning.
I mean, I can imagine someone taking out their phone and just...
Yep, I could see that too. That's why I'm like...
I can't help but burst out laughing.
Oh no, I'm not playing you guys right now. That's just quite... That's quite
what?
Serious.
Pretend to be babies? Come on, Monica. You had me going for a second there, but you kind of ruined the punchline. She looks straight into my eyes.
No, Kazuma. They record a clip of a baby's cries and hide the speaker in a dark place. They prey on women's maternal instincts because they know they're attracted to the sounds of infants in distress.
I mean, I can see this being true.
She's not playing you.
Laughter dies on my lips as a cold, sinking silence takes in place. Oh my god.
Well, it was sickening, but actually that works better. That's why the cries didn't sound natural. They just recorded a small segment and replayed it over and over.
All makes sense now. The unnatural cries in the dark alleyway. A
meticulous,
calculated effort to ensnare an unsuspecting victim.
Wait, hang on! Didn't Miss Kazumi go missing around that time?
I swear she's in on it! This Kazumi used to teach Sayori and I a long time ago. No, she just moved away. What happened to her exactly? Sayori shrugs.
We were told she moved away suddenly to work in a different part of the country, right? People used to spread really scary, horrible rumors about what happened to her, but they don't really make sense.
Hang on. She had a child of her own that year, didn't she? Oh god, she did. And my parents wouldn't really discuss her whenever I asked. They were super dismissive of the whole thing. I always wondered why. Oh yeah, the scariest of stories. Fucking true ones.
Yeah, the scariest of stories. The thing that happened.
Wait, you guys actually believe that? Everybody looks at Natsuki shocked. Oh, come on. There's no way you guys almost walked into a trap. Besides, that's just an urban legend. No, it's not. I can believe someone does
What
this.
happened to their teacher then? She just disappeared and Cosmo's parents refused to talk about it?
I don't know about you, but that just seems pretty convenient for this story. Well, maybe some things are better left off unanswered, huh? Although I do hope Sayori and I are just misremembering.
Well, on that cheerful note, how about we move on to the next story? I'd like to nominate Natsuki.
My story?
Natsuki, do you not have one?
Hey, I never said that. I do, but it's just, I get it off, I got it off the internet. No, I didn't. I'm about to talk about my father. I don't like horror, so if it's bad, it's not my fault, okay? Natsuki clears her throat.
Okay, let's see how much about her father this is. It seems like none.
Anyway, it's about these two friends named Aoi and Nariko. Basically, there was a rumor going around their high school about people seen going in and out of an abandoned house on the outskirts of town. This sounds like a Goosebumps story.
This could be another game.
Most people thought they were just drug dealers, but some swore by the fact that the house was being used by a cult of some sort.
Ooh, happy science cult.
Aoi and Nariko were pretty outgoing adventurers, so they decided one night to check the place out. They get to the house and it's pitch black out. Luckily, Aoi had brought flashlights for the two of them. It didn't work. Nariko, on the other hand, brought a knife with her, just in case they ran into any trouble. They go inside and the place reeks. We're talking Kazuma Rooms levels of stink.
You've not. Like, you haven't been in my room.
Yeah, she hasn't. It would have been better if she said house. Hey! Everybody bursts out laughing. Was that really necessary? Yes. Sorry, I had to, so yes. Anyway, they look around for a bit. They find the door to the basement, the stairs to the second floor. Things like that. Actually, this sounds more like a Resident Evil game because when you start out, you go into this house.
That's only that one game, but yes.
Yeah, and as you descend deeper, you find the basement, and that's when the game starts.
Yeah.
Finally, they get into the kitchen and find the source of the smell. There's some weed on the table, and it looks to be
how the
recently
fuck wouldn't you
used.
notice that smell?
A serial killer getting high.
That's a very obvious smell.
This confirms Aoi's suspicions that it's just a drug dealer and she wants to leave. Nariko, on the other hand, still wants to snoop around for a bit. No, I would have got out of there.
Yeah.
They get...
So what the fuck does it mean they found weed on the table that was recently used? If it was recently used, it wouldn't be on the table, right? People don't just generally use weed and then leave weed left on the table.
Okay, so sometimes there's
like
a bag of weed.
Yeah, it's not important.
Like, there can still be weed left over on
I guess, but it's like, this doesn't make any sense. But
they get into an argument with each other, with Nariko calling Aoi a coward because she thinks Aoi wants to leave since she's afraid of all the rumors. Then Nariko goes, yeah, well, if you're not afraid, then go down into the basement. I thought we were in the basement.
No, they're in the kitchen.
Aoi gladly accepts and walks over to the basement door. As soon as she opens it, she feels a sharp pain in her back, and before she can react, she gets pushed down the stairs. She tumbles down the stairs, and once she hits the bottom, she realizes she can't feel her legs. Her vision is blurred, but she can barely make out a figure standing at the top of the stairs with a knife. The last thing Aoi hears before she passes out is Narika's footsteps as she descends down the stairwell, and an old, grizzled voice say, "This one will do nicely." Fuck!
So it is a Resident Evil game.
Whoa!
That just is a Resident Evil
Whoa!
game. That's definitely the plot of Resident Evil.
Damn!
Just...
The next day, Naruko and Aoi call in sick. It's kind of a shame, really, because they miss out on all the talk about how someone heard strange animal-like growls coming from the old abandoned house on the outskirts of town. So yeah, hope you liked it or whatever.
But what happened to Naruko and Aoi in the end?
I'm pretty sure
Naruko's
pretty sure
with a drug
Aoi
dealer.
died.
Yeah, Aoi's dead.
They didn't die, did they?
Heh, use your imagination.
Nice story, Natsuki. Cults usually provide good fodder for horror stories.
Indeed, I've read quite a few novels about cults.
Doesn't Partra Markov involve something like that?
Oh, something similar, yes.
Speaking of Yuri and horror stories, how about you go next, Yuri?
Me? Alright then.
Give it your best shot.
I'll give you my best shot.
You're walking along one pale autumnal night. The moon is graceful, casting her light down below like snowdrops.
I was dying to sink my teeth into something.
As you continue down your path, something shambles behind you. You turn around to look for what it might be, but all you see is a cluster of leaves rustled by the pale air. Slowly returning, you notice the lights in every house around you going out, then flickering before fully extinguishing. With tentative steps, you advance towards one of them to investigate. Just as you're about to reach the window, you hear something snapping behind you. A broken twig is all that remains. Uncertainty floating around inside your head, you unconsciously start walking faster, away from the suburbs. Eventually you find solace in silence, the only sound being your heartbeat. It's quiet. Nothing bad seems to be happening now. In fact, nothing at all seems to be happening. Confused, you look around and see you're in front of your house in the street. No one is stirring, nor are there any lights. Gently pacing towards your house, you go through the door. The lights are on. Except there was no lights. The television is on, but no one in sight. This is unusual. You were expecting your parents to be home tonight. Had they gone out without telling you? No, that couldn't be it. They always let you know where they'll be. You pull out your phone and open up your contacts to give them a call. However, no one is registered in there anymore. No matter how hard you try to remember, you can't call out to them.
Oh, that's an interesting take on things. Okay.
Suddenly, there's a heavy knock on the door. You peer through the keyhole but see no one. Another knock. Another. You cautiously open the door, but there's still no one there. No one anywhere. How'd this happen? Why are you alone? In the piercing silence. Silence so loud it fills the air. You do not know, and there isn't any way for you to find out.
That's it? What a dumb story. Actually, that sounds kind of eerie.
Yeah, that's very environmentally horror.
Nothing even happened. Where were the scary monsters and stuff?
There is no greater fear than the unknown, Natsuki.
That's true. Like, bam.
Sharp claws can be prepared for. Enigmatic silence cannot. What's more fearful? Something you know is coming for you, or feeling safe when you are in fact not?
Quite a somber note to end your story on, Yuri. We can always count on you for a good horror tale, huh? Anyway, I'll go next.
How were you not already next?
Although, a scary story. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've come up with a ghost story before. Ha ha ha. I haven't read too many horror stories either.
Well, I guess that isn't a surprise.
Just make one up then, it'll be fun.
Well, I can't say I've tried that before.
Are you trying to get out of telling a story?
Of course not. Now that I think about it, there is one I've heard of.
Monika's expression has turned serious. The mood in the room turns serious. She uses the same intensity she did for when she read her poems, and everyone quiets down.
A number of years ago, Tanabata had come along, as it does every year. This is the story of a lost little girl.
Where am I? She cried. She cried and cried, hoping desperately she could find someone to help her. But the little girl was alone. Nobody could hear her. Just as all hope seemed lost, she heard a voice. Isn't the night wonderful? The girl looked up. Where before there was nobody, was now a man in an elegant yukata. He wore what looked like a no mask, but it was completely blank. Behind the man stood a stall, masks and lanterns of all sorts hanging from it. Oh good, it's the happy mask salesman. How rude of me, the man admonished himself. Welcome, dear customer. Your heart seems unhappy. Why not take a look at my wares? The man said as he gestured to the mask behind him. Please take one that will bring a smile to your face.
Oh no.
The girl looked at the masks. There was one that looked frightening, ones that looked strange, ones that looked exotic, and many others. What about your mask, mister? The girl asked. I'm sorry, but this mask is very special. It's not for sale. The girl looked sad. I like that mask. It looks really cool. The man laughed softly. It has been called many things, but it is perhaps the first time it has been called cool. Would you like a fruit? The man asked, picking one from the tree behind him. They're sweet and delicious. The girl reached to take it, but the man pulled his hand back. They're not for children. The girl was confused. But just tonight it should be fine, he said, as he offered his hand once again. In the festival of the night, children can become adults, and adults become children. Is that true? Asked the girl, and the man assured her it was. The girl took the fruit and bit into it, and it was unlike anything she had tasted before. It was almost overwhelming, but the flavor was wonderful. It's good, the girl said happily. The man laughed again. I'm glad you think so. There's plenty, so please eat all you like. As she ate, the man took down a mask. What about this one? The girl took the mask. It looks like me, but she looks like a princess, the girl said in awe. Do you like it? Please take it. But what about money? Asked the girl. I don't need money. Instead, I would like to be friends. Is that okay? Of course, the girl agreed. From now on, we're friends. I'm glad, the man said with gratitude. Why not put on your mask? The girl did so. She was overcome with a strange feeling. Why is it? She asked. At last. Long last, I have dreamt of this moment. My dear, my Eve, my only friend. The man smiled beneath his mask as he spoke as the light of the stars began to fade. For it is the festival of the night, where children become adults, and adults become children. Let it be known.
Another unconventional horror story, I see.
Haha, yep. I guess monsterless horror stories are more popular than you'd think.
I rather like the mysterious tone myself. It's very reminiscent of the style of Asian horror stories.
You guys have a weird sense of what's scary.
I mean, this story isn't necessarily meant to scare you to death. Spirits don't have to just be frightening, you know.
Well, it is Halloween. Aren't things supposed to be scary today?
Well, Halloween is fun too, not just scary.
Alright, you guys, break it up. Let's just all agree to disagree again. Monica smiles gratefully at me, while Natsuki shouts me a disgruntled look. Anyway, I guess it's my turn to tell a story. So this is something that actually happened to a friend of mine. Oh, really? Yes, really. So it happened to Sayori then.
Oh, this story's about me? Is that true, Kazuma?
What? No, it's not.
Let's just get on with the story, shall we? I like Natsuki
I have more
just
than
implying
one friend,
you have
Natsuki.
no other friends but Sayori.
Right, anyway. So, this friend of mine lived alone in an apartment building. He lived in the downtown area and loved to party all night. And one night, he was out as usual. However, then he stumbled back home in the early hours of the morning. He realized that he'd lost his keys and was locked out of his apartment because he's a drunk.
Yeah.
So he ended up having to call his landlord, who was pissed at having to wake up in the middle of the night to let him back in. But in the end, he was able to get home safely, so that's all that matters, right?
I can certainly relate to that comforting feeling.
Right. But when he got inside, he noticed that his keys were actually on his nightstand. So he didn't lose them after all.
They weren't an extra set that his landlord lent him?
No. he was able to recognize them by the keychain he attached to it. So that's it? Pretty much, yeah. What's so scary about that? Guess you haven't realized it yet, huh? What do you mean?
Well, the apartment was locked when he got back, right?
Yeah, I got that part.
But his keys were still in the apartment. How do you suppose he locked them in?
Huh?
Someone must have gotten into his apartment and placed them inside, and then locked the door themselves from the inside.
And the only sets of keys were my friend's and his landlord's. So...
Whoever it was who brought his keys back was still in the apartment when he got home.
But
who was it then?
he never found out. It was gone.
You're gonna make me permanently paranoid!
I actually do have one home invasion story real quick. So, this couple, they were living in this nice new house for a long time.
Mhm.
Like, they just moved in, and they kept hearing scratches and scuffles around the attic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it turns out that a homeless woman was living in their attic and was stealing food out of their fridge in the middle of the night. Like, they noticed things missing, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, they caught her on camera because they noticed one day that the refrigerator door was open. They were like, that's not right.
Yeah, that's when you do that, and then that's when you bolt the upstairs closed. We're just like, well...
No, get this.
Mhm.
There wasn't an easy way to really access the attic. There was a ventilation system in the house, so she was crawling through the vents. And she would crawl out of this hole that was open above the refrigerator. And she would use the refrigerator to get down and steal.
No. There's so much wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's just fucked up. That's so fucked up.
Yeah, and it's true, and it was all over the news. I think it was 3 years ago.
Yeah. Anyways, this story only makes sense if they're talking about the deadbolt lock, because like otherwise you can just lock your front door normally. So they have to be talking about the deadbolt, right? The thing that you can't lock from
Yeah.
You can't like lock and then close the door.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's gotta be what they're talking about. Otherwise, the story just doesn't make any sense.
All right.
Anyways, guys.
Time to save.
Yeah. And we'll fix that other save later.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, I accidentally double clicked.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. We'll come back next time with even more of ghost stories.
With even more not spooky.
Yeah, Doki Doki Blue Skies. Until then, the future is very uncertain. What is certain is you guys are awesome. And there'll be more Two Bros Game Night tomorrow. See you then.
Goodbye.